Good morning, Yuma. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Yuma this morning. I'm Kimberly Kahl, Executive Director of the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce. Before we get started with this morning's program, I have a lot of thank yous. I need to thank a lot of different people. First, I want to thank the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and Ambassadors. This job would be impossible without the help of all of our great volunteers. Also, a quick shout out to the October member of the month, Z93 in Outlaw Country. Oh my gosh, I did a radio show with them a couple of weeks ago and it was so fun. They are amazing, and thank you to them for all of our support. Also, thank you to the Yuma Southwest Contractors Association. They are hosting us this morning. We are, of course, still virtual, which so many people are these days, and hopefully at some point we're going to get back to those great breakfasts, but virtual for now, and virtual it looks like for the next couple of months at least. And now I also want to thank APS, who has been a great supporter of the Chamber, and this morning they are the sponsor of this morning's Good Morning Yuma, and so I would like to recognize and introduce Regina Toomey, APS Community Affairs Manager. Regina.
Thank you, Kimberly. Hi everyone, my name is Regina Toomey. I'm the Community Affairs Manager for APS. We are so honored to be this morning's sponsor. And Kimberly forced me to get dressed for the first time in 7 months. So it's a big day in my house. At the beginning of the year, APS set a bold goal to provide 100% clean, carbon-free electricity to our customers by 2050. This plan includes retiring coal plants earlier than previously projected and incorporating more renewable energy. Our clean energy plan will be guided by sound science and focused on achieving environmental and economic gains. In addition to this clean energy commitment, we're very proud of the fact that we've implemented statewide programs to help customers gain access to solar power and the use of electric vehicle charging stations. Print and Zoom has already taken advantage of that awesome program. As we all know, many Arizonans are facing challenging times during COVID-19. APS is committed to assisting with customer and community needs, which is why we have pledged $8 million in shareholder-funded pandemic relief. While almost $7 million of this total is specific to customer assistance, it also includes support for Arizona tribal communities, the Arizona COVID Relief Fund, and nonprofits like food banks, which are seeing increased demand for services. This financial pledge is one of the largest commitments of any utility in the country. With loss of income, altered work schedules, and record heat, we want to ease the burden for those struggling to pay their bills. We have recently announced that we will be suspending all disconnects for non-payment through the end of 2020. We're here to help and want to encourage all customers to reach out to us if they're facing financial hardship. Small businesses may also qualify for $1,000 in grant funds. Please spread the word to anyone who might be struggling, who might need help, who might be a little bit embarrassed to ask. If they don't want to reach out directly or you don't want to reach out for them, they can call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or find us on the website, aps.com. Again, we are so proud and honored to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. We're so thankful to be here today. Good morning, Yuma.
Thank you so much, Regina, for that message. So many people are struggling, so it's great that APS has those programs, and we are also at the Chamber very thankful for all that APS does to support the Chamber. Before we go into our soapboxes, I have some exciting news. Some people have already heard. We are going to be doing the first ever golf tournament with the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce. With everything going virtual, we were looking at the possibility of having to cancel the expo, and instead of canceling the expo, we decided to reimagine it. So on December 12th at 8 a.m., we are going to have a kickoff where we are having the golf tournament with kind of like a mini expo. There will be actually booths at the holes, booths at the driving range, and that way we can kind of get a taste of both. I hope it's a fun day. We should have more information out soon. Right now we're contacting our expo sponsors so that we can give them kind of first dibs on the sponsorships at the golf tournament. After that, we will open it up to the public and start taking registration. So please mark it on your calendars. Saturday, December 12th at Desert Hills, we'll be having our golf tournament and mini expo. And now let's find out what some of our members have to offer. We'll listen to these soapboxes. I can't even say it. Sorry, soapboxes. Thanks.
My name is Matt Molinar and I own MGM Design. We specialize in website design and graphic design for businesses right here in Yuma. We've been doing that for over 20 years. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different and offer you a free gift. What I've put together are my personal 14 pro tips to designing or redesigning your website. So to get these pro tips, all you have to do is text MGM to 900 900 and you fill out a little form and that PDF will instantly email to your inbox. So again, send a text message and instead of the phone number, you put in 900 900 and in the message, just put in MGM and you'll instantly get that PDF download. 14 pro tips before you begin your next redesign or new website project. So I hope that gives you something that'll help you out a little bit. And if you need help with your website or graphic design projects, just give us a call, 782-5915.
I chose to come to Yuma Regional Medical Center for several reasons. I've been in solo private practice for 27 years. Really, that's a dinosaur anymore in the national healthcare scene. There are very few solo private practitioners because you have to wear all hats. You know, you have to be the human resources manager, the IT manager, do everything. And it's just become a struggle to run a solo private practice. So the selfish reason was I didn't want to run my own business anymore. And I wanted to be someone I could, in a position where I could solely focus on patient care rather than worrying about all the other aspects of healthcare that are burning physicians out.
Good morning, Yuma. Tim Avila here with Yuma Investment Group. You started thinking about college for your children? Do you have concerns about how you're going to afford it? Families often overpay for college, take on too much debt, hurt their savings and retirement plans because they were not properly prepared. Don't despair. We're here to help. We're hosting 2 free webinars on how to cut the cost of college. The first is Wednesday, October 14th at 6 p.m. and the second is on Saturday, October 17th at 10 a.m. Please go to our Facebook page, Yuma Investment Group. You'll find the event registration link and you'll be given all the Zoom information and we'll be ready to go. If you have any other questions, call me, Tim Avila, 329-1700.
Good morning, Yuma. This is Stephanie Daniels and I am from the Yuma Sun. I am located in our mailroom right now. I want to give you a heads up about some deadlines we have coming up. October 15th is our deadline for our chamber book directory. This is a directory that is good for 2 years. It is for all chamber members, local businesses, and every member will get a copy, and it is distributed throughout the Yuma County. We are also placing them in relocation packages so they know who to contact when they need your services. If you have not had a chance to get in contact with a representative, please let us know and we will make sure that a representative will help you with this. We also have our RV park goodie bags coming up. These are wonderful things that are distributed to all the RV parks for the winter visitors, and it has lots of good items in it. Minimum is 6,000 items to put in the bag, so there is at least 6,000 items that are being distributed of yours that can get out to the Yuma County. Let us help you by getting your items out there. It is a very easy way to do. Just reach out to the Yuma Sun and your representative will get a hold of you. Have a great day and good morning, Yuma.
Good morning, Yuma. I'm Jeff Bird, Community Relations Officer with First Bank Yuma. I think things are starting to finally get back to normal, slowly but surely. I'm really looking forward to the Chamber of Commerce golf tournament at Desert Hills, Saturday, December 12th. So save the date for that. Also to other fellow members and nonprofits If you have a message that wants to go on our message board on 18th Street and 4th Avenue, we have the electronic message board. I can only have 2 messages at a time, but lately we just had up Amberly's Place, Week in Paradise, and did some stuff for the food bank. So anybody that has a nonprofit that wants to share their message and help get it out to about 25,000 cars a day, give me a call or stop by 18th Street and 4th Avenue. And I hope everybody else is hanging in there, because I think we're getting closer and closer to the end. So stay safe, stay healthy, and make it a great week.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning Yuma. And again, I want to thank our host this morning, Yuma Southwest Contractors Association. And joining me this morning are a couple of the Yuma Southwest Contractors Association board members. I'd like to introduce Mike Dahin with Big Bob's Flooring of America.
Thank you. So we're glad to be here.
And Will Toms of CMEX.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I'll admit that I asked them on this morning because I have worked for several construction associations, and I have learned long ago that contractors generally know what's going on in the community. And so I was hoping that each of you could kind of start out with a little bit of an update this morning on what construction projects are going on in the community that might be of interest to the community and to the business sector.
Well, I tell you, as we talked a little bit earlier before we went on the air, Yuma is hopping right now. Yuma is buzzing. It's a good thing. Housing is booming. The housing market, and I don't deal with too much with the housing market, but doing great. Commercial, on the commercial side of things, a lot of commercial projects in progress. One that comes to mind is Regional Center for Borders Health down in San Luis that Eckert Commercial Construction is the general contractor on. Huge project, going well. Yuma's a good place to be.
I agree with that.
Will, what's going on your side?
So I'm in the civil part.
Mhm.
We do heavy earthwork, asphalt paving and grading and concrete work. And I would agree with Mike right now. Yuma's hopping, and it's really interesting because normally in an election year, things tend to slow down about 3 months before an election and carries into the new year. But I have not seen any slowdown, which is really cool to see. I've seen this over probably the 30 years I've been here. Every election cycle, it really does take a hit. And this is probably the first election year I've seen where it's not affected Yuma at all. So it's been really good for everybody.
So have you not seen then, I mean, I've seen that COVID-19 has affected so many industries, but construction doesn't have quite the same, it hasn't had quite the same effect. How has it affected you?
It has affected the construction industry somewhat. Really what we're seeing on my side of things, on the flooring side, and many other parts of the construction industry, is material orders are being delayed.
Okay.
Lumber is a huge problem right now, I've been told. Felipe from Foxworth, he's one of our board members. He gets us up to speed on that constantly. There's just a huge demand for lumber. And, for flooring, you mentioned your husband's in the flooring business as well. He works for Mohawk. On the flooring side, we'll order material and it's on back order. Because the manufacturers are also dealing with COVID. So their workforce might be down a little bit. So it's a problem. But other than that, it hasn't, in my opinion, hasn't affected us that bad.
On our side, it really hasn't affected the civil portion, I would say, of the construction industry. However, I know Mike's in a different venue as far as contracting, so he deals with a lot of different materials. We haven't really experienced that. What we have experienced, though, on the other side of the spectrum is we work with different entities, whether it's City of Yuma, Yuma County, ADOT. Because of COVID, we've had to go to a lot of Zoom meetings, which I'm sure everybody here's had to do, which is...
I think we're all tired of Zoom, aren't we?
It's not quite the same interaction that you get in person, and I do miss that, and I hope that comes back. I think that's important to have that relationship with all those entities. But that's been a huge impact as well. people are working from home. I know for our company, we've been encouraged, people who can work from home, to work from home, and that's fine. But there are areas in the company that suffer from that, unfortunately. So it's a fine line. We're trying to encourage our people because it changes when you work from home a little bit. It's not the same atmosphere. So we're all new to this. This is a new thing that we're all dealing with. We're all in this together. It's not one company doing something different from another. We're all exposed to this. So it's been detrimental to our company, our policy. For example, we work outside. Our men are having to wear masks outside. And, we do asphalt paving, which is a very hot job. And if you can imagine, it gets very hot here in Yuma. And when you have asphalt coming out of that truck at 330 degrees, plus the existing elements, it's very difficult for our men to breathe. So we have some leniency, of course, but we're all faced with the same challenges right now.
We definitely are. So speaking of which, workforce development in the construction industry, I know has been a hot topic for as long as I can remember, and I've been around construction a long time. And so, how has this impacted your recruitment efforts and your training efforts?
I think labor on a whole in the entire construction industry is a huge issue. We've been talking about it for years. Was it 2008 when the bubble burst? And guys just left construction because there was just nothing going on. And the problem is trying to get those people back in has been a huge issue. Not to sound negative, but nobody wants to swing a hammer anymore. Everybody wants to go to college, get a degree, and think they're going to make $100,000 a year right out of the gate. Well, I'm sorry, you got to pay your dues. I mean, that's just a fact of life. The Contractors Association, we are getting very involved with some programs through AWC for recruitment and trying to get some younger blood into the construction because, college isn't for everybody.
No, it's not.
And you know what? You can make a pretty damn good living, working for Cemex, driving a cement truck, learning how to finish up a slab of concrete, flooring. Our flooring installers make very good money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's hard work, but you can make good money. And
you're preaching to the choir here. My the apprenticeship program that I ran for the last several years, my apprentices graduated the apprenticeship program making more money than most college graduates.
Right. Exactly.
So, you're preaching to the choir here. But.
So I feel good that eventually it's going to come around. We're powering through it right now, but labor is a huge issue again. And that's pretty much nationwide in construction. I talk to people all over the country, and I hear the same thing from everybody.
Yeah, and so since 2008, just like Mike said, when the bubble burst, if you want to call it that, and the economy really took a turn for the worse, we got into this mode for the labor force where it was accepted to stay home, if you will, and this and that. And so now Cemex is trying to recruit people that are just willing to come to work, and we will train you because the workforce right now is really lacking in any kind of trade, having any experience in anything anymore. That's been the challenge for all of us. Mike touched on that. The workforce is it's been really, really difficult for the last 10 years, especially 12 years. So we're faced with that challenge a lot. Cemex, we have that training option where we can bring somebody in and we can put them with the crew and they start learning a trade, and then hopefully we can move them up, and because we're always replacing people. The nice thing about Cemex is I can honestly say I feel so blessed to be with them. They've had such a good nucleus of people where they've had people working for them for 47 years.
Wow.
That is unheard of almost these days. So it's important to put some stock into people to grow them, right? And that just makes them so much better in the future and more valuable. I think whatever you put into them is what you're going to get out.
Exactly.
So I think that's really important in today's day with the labor force really suffering. So now we have to be in this training mode. And I think that's what companies need to really try to concentrate on. The nice thing about, I wanted to point this out too, the nice thing about Yuma Southwest Contractors Association, Mike, I had been involved with the Southwest Contractors Association way back, and I think it was 2011. Got asked to join the board, be a board member, and this association does such a great job. I've had the opportunity of wearing two hats now. One on the skill set of sitting on a board, watching everything that goes on in the plan room, but it also they have so many things that they support. The veterans of Yuma, they're such a big supporter of the veterans. Mike has done such an awesome job. He's the current he's a board member right now, and he's pushed that, and that is so important for our local community. So there's a lot of awesome things that this association does for our community and for people that are hurting too. I mean, there's been people that we've built some homes for, added on some additions. So it's a really good organization to be involved with. I'm very pleased to be with them.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Will, we're over 200 members strong, and the one thing again I love about Yuma is even though it's a small town, it's a big small town.
Yeah,
it really is family. This community comes together at times of need, whether you're a competitor or it doesn't matter. Everybody comes together. There's been as Will said, there's been lots of projects that all the construction companies have pulled together, and we built some room additions for some folks. We some handicap ramps, and as Will said, very active in a lot of the events that takes place in Yuma. Relay for Life. No trick or treat this year, but every year we're very, very involved in the safe trick or treat they have at the fairgrounds. The Veterans Parade is a big event for us. Matter of fact, we're going to get started on a float pretty soon. I take that kind of real dearly to my heart. And our golf tournament that is every year the first Friday in December is probably, I think it's the second biggest golf tournament they have in Yuma now.
Yep.
The hospital tournament is a big tournament, but ours is getting there. Last year, we'll be able to do it again this year because of COVID, but last year we actually had the United States Army free fall team jump into the golf tournament.
Oh,
the players skydived in, and everybody enjoyed it. It was just a great deal. So we're excited. We're excited. The association is just, I have been on the board, I don't know how many years now, Will, but long time. I love it. I absolutely love it.
So can you give me a specific example? Do you remember like one of those projects that you did, like building an addition? Like, without clearly not giving names or anything, we don't want to, but.
There was an individual, I don't remember his name, but his house, if I'm not mistaken, got condemned by the city, I believe. It was unsafe.
Okay.
Went in, they knocked the house down, demoed it, and we built it. It was a small house. I think it was like 600-700 square feet, if that. I can't remember. It was not too far from here. And the community came together and completely rebuilt that house. Flooring America, we donated all the flooring. I think Foxworth donated all of the lumber. I think Cemex donated the concrete. Drywall companies donated the drywall, and the labor was all donated. Some of my guys at our shop, they went over on a weekend and they installed the flooring. So things like that. It was just something makes you, one of those things makes you feel good inside.
Well, of course, yes, absolutely. I used to donate a lot of time to Habitat for Humanity. So, and I did swing a hammer.
Something else that we were heavily involved in, I don't know if you noticed, you being new to Yuma, when you come in on the freeway and you get off on 16th Street by the water towers there, there's this big, beautiful flagpole. And Ricky Reinhardt, who was the previous assistant city administrator, he came to me, I think we were playing golf. And he came to me and he goes, "Mike, I got a problem." I go, "What?" He goes, "You know about my flagpole project?" And I go, "Yeah, I've heard about it." He goes, "Man, I'm so close to getting it done. I've got all these people that are donating stuff, but I'm $19,000 short of making it happen." I said, "Let me see what I can do." That was on a Wednesday. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lucine. By Friday, we raised $19,000.
Lucine, you didn't know you were going to be on today.
I don't know about we, but Mike definitely.
I basically went to every business that I could think of in Yuma, walked in and said, "I need $1,000. For what?"
A picture of it on the directory right next to you guys.
For what, Mike?
Yep, there it is.
And when I gave them the spiel, they couldn't tell me no. Of course, I wasn't taking no. I wasn't taking no for an answer anyway. But we got it done, and it was just an awesome event when it raised. And every morning when I drive into work, I look up that thing and I get goosebumps because I love that
That's
flag.
really cool.
So I was involved with back when I was on the board originally. I think I was president that year. I had the honor to be president of the association, and we did a project for. You said not to list names, so I won't throw the name out there. But she was a very well respected dance teacher for
Okay.
many many years, and she became ill and was had to succumb to a wheelchair. So
Oh, that would be so hard as a
Yeah,
dancer. That would be
absolutely.
terrible.
So the community came together and we went in and uh, we had engineers and architects involved and they redesigned her house, her existing home, and we made it wheelchair accessible. So it took a lot of us contractors and it was basically a rehaul of the whole house, which was really awesome. So I got to see that come together and be a part of that, and the community came together really good.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So what current projects are going on that that you think the community might, I mean, we all know about like the big projects or whatever, but what do you currently have going on
Uh,
that you can talk about?
well, Florida America. I mean, right now we're the commissary and the marine base is getting renovated,
Okay.
and we're putting 15,000 square feet of new flooring in there. And there's other things going on. That's our scope. Again, Regional Center for Border Health. Those are two of the bigger projects we've got. A lot of some smaller projects, but that's what we've got going on. Not to mention again all the new homes that we're in the process of working on.
There's a lot of new homes going.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. Jacobson Companies is building a lot of homes. Santa Fe Hacienda. Uh, just like I said, the housing market's booming right now.
It really is. And how about you?
So what we've got going on right now, we've got a few subdivisions going on. One of them happens to be for Hall Brothers. We've got two projects that I wanted to mention that the community should know about, like for them to know about, because I don't want them to drive clear out in the county and be disrupted by the traffic control. But CEMEX, we have a project going on right now it's on Avenue B between County 16th and 18th. The road is open, but there are some delays. The traffic is squeezed down to restricted traffic. So I would encourage everybody to try to avoid that. We are on schedule to complete that.
That's road work, Will?
Yep,
Road work.
it's the road work. It's basically a asphalt overlay. We've had to build the shoulders out, and then we're going to do a surface overlay on it, and that's for Yuma County. I will mention another project. It's not my project, and I will give the courtesy of telling people it's DPE Construction. They've got a project that they just started, and that's going to be at the intersection of Avenue A and County 15th. So I would ask people to try to avoid that intersection. They are closing it, so you're going to have to find an alternate route, which they'll have the detours out there to direct you. But we have a lot of work going on ourselves. I just mentioned a couple of jobs for you. We do have several other small jobs for private individuals and developers, and so we're staying very, very busy.
Yeah, and so back a little bit, the last couple of minutes, back to kind of the workforce thing. So do you have enough workers right now to complete everything you know? I mean, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's funny. I know, but what a funny question, wasn't that? I'm aware. I mean, you can always use more. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't know any contractor that can't use more, but I mean, are you?
We're holding our own right now. I mean, there's some moments where we could use an extra crew and we just don't have the manpower. Again, it's laborers you can get. It's the skilled technician, and I'm sure Will agree with me. I mean, there are people out there you can pull for laborers, but the skilled part is really what we're lacking.
So the challenge we've run into is, as you know, there's a lot of border wall being put up. Yuma is being affected by that, which is a good thing. I think it's a great thing. However, we're losing valuable people in our workforce to go work for the wall.
Got it. Okay.
They consist of Davis-Bacon wages, which are much higher.
I would say for those people that aren't familiar with Davis-Bacon, it's prevailing wage.
That's right.
They have a certain wage that the government sets that they must pay when they work on government projects.
So it's very difficult to compete with that right now. And I've always encouraged people to better themselves, and I think that's great. However, we're feeling the outcome of that. So, just like Mike said, it's difficult to find replacements right now, and that's what we're struggling with. So, but we're trying to get that under control.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank you both so much. It's been great for me. I hope it's been great for everyone else. I mean, I can talk construction all day, I think. So, as I said, they better let us know when it's about time for the time to be up because I would sit here and talk to you guys all day and we'd never get anything else done. You guys would miss out on all those construction projects. So thank you, Mike, and thank you, Will, so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Please, again, mark your calendars for the golf tournament December 12th and the Southwest Contractors one on December 4th. And thank you again to APS for sponsoring, and good morning, Yuma.